Hello everyone, and welcome back to another ArcGIS Pro tutorial video. In this tutorial video I want to wrap up part 2 because we had one step left, and then I want to move into part 3 where we're going to assess the accuracy of this georeferencing that we have done. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure that we record this number right here, this forward error. We're going to want to make sure we record this in our questions. And then we're going to want to make sure that we save our georeferencing. So with the georeference pane open, we're going to look and we're going to see where it says save as new. You want to click save as new. So we're going to click this. And then you'll see on the right hand side here we have export raster. This is going to allow us to save our data set. We're going to keep all of the settings below here the same. The only thing we're going to make sure is that we save it somewhere where we remember. So I'm going to click this. I'm going to go and put this in my week 6 georeferencing folder as georeferenced.tif. So I'm going to click export, and this might take just a minute. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a new copy of our UAS image that has the real-world location that we just enforced with these georeferencing points here. So once it's done, and again it might take a little bit to run, you will see a new image appear in the drawing order, and it will be named whatever you named it before. So in my case, I named it georeference.tif. So at this point, what we can do is we can close the georeferencing. So if we click on georeference again, and we could close the georeferencing, any unsaved edits, yes, we should be able to do that because we've saved the new image and we have all of our stuff screenshotted and saved and all of that. So if we continue, yes, so we close that out, you'll see that we now have, and we can remove that. So we want to go ahead and make a layout following the outline of activity 2. We're going to make a new layout with this georeferenced image just to prove that we've done things correctly. Okay. So once that's done, we can move on to trying to assess the validation data. And to do that, we need to actually open the we need to open the other data sets, and we need to open the validation.excel sheet. So I'm going to open up my data set over here. I'm going to open up the CSV, where'd it go? Validation table.csv. Okay. And so you'll see in the validation table that what we have are GPS validation points 1 through 4, and these are going to correspond to the GPS validation data that's provided in the shapefiles. GPS-X and GPS-Y correspond to the actual measured coordinates of the points. So we're going to be filling in image X and image Y in this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to map add data. Let me get that out of the way for a second. Add data, and we're going to be pulling in validation points 1 through 4. So I'm going to click, I'm going to hold shift so that I can add more than one, and you'll see that all 4 of them are highlighted, and you'll see they're all listed under name. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click OK. So you'll see that it very quickly adds the data. I'm going to turn off GPS training, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with GPS validation point 1. I'm going to right click and I'm going to zoom to layer, and then I'm going to I'm going to make it bigger. So if I click the point, I can make it bigger. I'm going to make it a red, bright red circle so I know which one I'm looking at. I'm going to zoom in using the mouse wheel. And just like we were doing before, we're going to find the point or the tile nearest the point. So in this case, I'm going to find this tile right here. I'm going to get my mouse as close to the center of it as I possibly can. And I'm going to hover my mouse over the middle. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for these numbers down here. Right? These numbers down here, these X and Y coordinates. So I'm going to hover my mouse over this, and then with a piece of paper, I'm going to record those numbers on a piece of paper. And those are going to be the numbers that I'm going to put into that Excel spreadsheet. So in my case, it's 679,336.83 east and 4827,500.05 north. Okay. Right, so this is going to be the location in the image. This is going to be the point where it was actually supposed to go. So the difference between these, right, the error between those is going to be the error in our overall georeferencing attempt. So I'm going to go then open up the Excel validation table. And for validation 1, I'm going to put in those numbers that I just wrote down. So 679,336.83. And for Y, it's going to be 4827,500.05. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the image and we're going to repeat this process for the other three validation points. So I'm going to right click, zoom to validation layer 2, zoom out just a little bit, find the tile. Same process again. I'm going to write down the easting and I'm going to write down the northing. And then I'm going to transfer that easting and northing, write that E and that N. I'm going to transfer that over to the validation table for georeferencing point 2. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do the other 2 points because you don't need to watch me do that part. And then we will come back once we have all of the points in place. So I would encourage you to continue to collect your data as well. Okay, so you can see now that I have finished collecting all of the image X and image Y's for the 4 validation points. I'm going to go ahead and maximize this because we don't need to worry about ArcGIS Pro as much anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the mathematical process of calculating what's called root mean square error, which is going to tell us an indication of how accurate our data was. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate fields F, G, H, and I, and then we're going to do some averaging. So I'm going to walk through what each field does as we do it, but I'm actually going to stop here because I want to make that its own video. So hopefully everything made sense, getting these validation data points, getting the image X and image Y from the tiles, and putting them in here. Hopefully that made sense, and as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you.